captain by a hook with a red beard. Captain by a hook with a red beard.
I'm sorry. Man, please. Is this thing on? All about my bread like some ham and cheese. You know what it is. A month away from the madness. That means 7 days from now, it'll be Thursday. 14 days from now, it'll be next Thursday. 21 days from now, we'll be watching Championship Week. And 28 days from now, we'll be tipping off the madness. Today, on this beautiful Thursday, I'll be breaking down the bracketito, as I do on most Thursdays. And I want to talk about teams heating up and teams falling apart. I got uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis, siete, ocho, nueve. That's 9 for the non-Espanol speakers. 9 teams I want to talk about and whether they're heating up or falling apart. Be looking to fade some of these teams first round of the tournament. Matter of fact, some of these teams shouldn't even be in the damn tournament. Oh, I'm talking to you, Kansas. Anyway, it's Captain by a hook, baby, with the red beard, presented by Stare Down Sports. Stare Down Greatness. I'm Rowan Donaghy, aka Rowan Dobbs, going live on a fantastic Thursday. The countdown to the madness officially on. talk about these teams going back and forth before we dive into this bracket. Try to get our final four. It's Captain by a Hook, baby. Let's start. Excuse me. It's a morning show, people. A little rusty. You call me Rusty Dives. Let's start off in the Big Ten. More than a few teams I want to talk about here. Teams that are heating up, teams that have been hot. You got Maryland. They're right now in fifth place, 10-5. They're only 2.5 games back from the lead in the Big Ten. Maryland quietly has been one of the best teams all season in the nation. They are ranked 20th in the nation, so it's not too quiet. But Maryland on a 3-game win streak right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They've won 7 out of their last 8 games. Only loss was at Ohio State. That was a huge win for the Buckeyes. But they beat Rutgers. They beat Nebraska, and they beat Iowa. Not only did they beat those 3 teams back to back to back, they blew them out. Beat Rutgers by 9, beat Nebraska by 8, Iowa by 30. Before the loss to Ohio State, they were on a 4-game winning streak. They beat number 17 twice. How you like those rankings? They beat number 17 Illinois, and they also beat number 17 Wisconsin. That was about a week apart. Rankings change, people. That's why you don't put too much stock into them. Big win over Indiana, and again sweeping in Nebraska. Maryland, one of the hottest freshmen in the country, Derek Queen. I mean, this kid can do it all. 16 points a game this season. The beauty of this team is in the 4 players around him that allow him to be the Swiss Army knife that he is. He doesn't have to dominate the post. They got other guys to dominate the post as far as rebounding and boxing out. He can move around and have some fun with it. Maryland. Don't quote me, but they are a team. At the 5 seed spot. As of right now, I don't know. They'd have to play St. John's in the second round. St. John's probably going to beat them up, but Maryland, maybe looking to have some tournament success for the first time in a long time. Keep it in the Big Ten. Rutgers. Oh, Lord, here this mother go talking about Rutgers. I know. Rutgers has lost 3 of their last 4, 3 of their last 5. They beat Illinois, who I'm going to get to in a minute. Last night, though, overtime win against Washington. Nothing to hang your hat on. Washington. Trash. This Rutgers team has 4 games left. 3 of those games could be huge wins. You got USC at home. That's on Sunday, it looks like. You got Michigan at Michigan. At Purdue and Minnesota. Now, I don't expect this Rutgers team to be in the tournament. But, man, this Rutgers team just has too much talent for me to give up on. And I know, I sound crazy. Insane in the membrane. This team is 13-14 overall, 6-10 in Big Ten play. But there's still something about them that makes me think, makes me ponder. Maybe, just maybe, this Rutgers team can get hot and win the Big Ten tournament. First, they'd have to get in the Big Ten tournament. Ain't that some? Not everybody's in it this year. Too many teams. Remember, they don't have the Pac-12 anymore. It makes no sense to anybody. But hey, Rutgers, watch out for them. but don't worry about them. Keeping it in the Big Ten. Teams falling apart like a good brisket. Illinois. Illinois. Illinois and Purdue. Uh, Rooted for them my whole life. Probably a root for them again. Brad Underwood, top 5 favorite coaches. I'm not saying he's top 5 best coaches. Top 5 favorite coaches for me, just because of his start at SFA and all the things he's done. Oklahoma State, blase, blase. Same thing with Purdue. Love Painter, always like Purdue. But this season, cannot stand both of these teams. Illinois just lost back-to-back games. Also, their big man got hurt against Michigan State late in that game. Did not play against Wisconsin. They got a huge game coming up Saturday against Duke. Probably gonna lose that one. And after that, you got 3 games left. Oh, guess what? Probably gonna lose 2 of them. You got Iowa, you can beat them hurt. You got Michigan, you got Purdue. This Illinois team, who was absolutely amazing, has been falling apart since about a month now. They lose back-to-back games against Michigan State and Maryland, beat Northwestern, lose to Nebraska, beat Ohio State, lose to Rutgers, finally get back-to-back wins for the first time in a long time against Minnesota and UCLA, and then they back that up with back-to-back losses. If I had to do the math, I think this team's going to end 18-13. Creep and crawl into the Big Ten tournament and then stumble into the big tournament. Illinois falling apart like a good brisket. Keeping it in the Big Ten. Last team I want to talk about is the Oregon Ducks. This team under Dana Altman has historically always kind of started off slow, but around this time of the year, I don't know what it is. I don't know if this guy's got a back pocket full of motivational speeches that just gets the team going. But Oregon always is a tough team to beat in March. They're always going on runs, and right now they are on a 3-game winning streak with pretty easy last 4 games. You got Wisconsin, you got USC, Indiana, Washington. They could easily end this season 6-1 in their last 7 games, running full speed into the Big Ten tournament. They're 19-8, 8-8 in conference play. This team could easily steal the Big Ten tournament. However, no matter where they end up in the tournament, this is going to be a team to watch out for. Right now, they are 8 seed taking on New Mexico. That's a tough one. You beat them. Here's Florida, the 1 seed. Maybe, hopefully, and probably Oregon sneaks into that 7 or 6 seed line, especially with teams ahead of them that I just mentioned falling apart. Let's get out of the Big Ten. Let's move over to the Big 12. Kansas. Don't even want to talk about them. Absolutely horrendous, horrid, horrible. Been waiting for them to turn it on for months now, and they cannot find the power button. What it seems like from Bill Self and rumors and this and that, and the 34-point loss to BYU. Not even going to talk about what this team did to me on Saturday night against Utah. Kansas is the worst of the worst right now. And I don't think there's no fixing it. You got a bunch of old dogs, and they all got paid, and none of them give a hot ham about winning. You just can't change it. You can't do it. Bill Self, historically great coach. Still trying to navigate this new NIL portal, free agency, try to put a bunch of players together on the fly system. It's hard to tell a kid who was the best player on his team last year, hey, this is how we do it over here. It's easy to tell a high school kid, hey, yo, that behind the back pass, leave it at the crib, bro. Bounce past that thing and let's keep it moving. Big 12. BYU. Not only did they beat Kansas by 34, they beat Kansas State by 15. They beat West Virginia by 4. They are on a 3-game winning streak. They have Arizona State, West Virginia, Iowa State, and Utah. The Utes. Those are their last 5 games of the season. BYU getting hot at the right time. They're 9-6 in Big 12 play. That's good enough for 5th place in the conference. The last Big 12 team I want to talk about, somehow, some way, we got to get this team into the tournament. They've won 5 out of their last 6. They beat West Virginia. They beat Texas Tech. They beat Arizona State, Oklahoma State, Colorado. Those teams don't matter. But they got Cincinnati, West Virginia, UCF, Baylor, and Colorado. Easily can go 4-1 down the stretch. Easily could go on a mini run in the Big 12 tournament. Nothing would make me happier than to see this TCU team sneak in to the tournament. I mean, you got teams that are getting rewarded right now for losing, and it's unacceptable in my book. Who are you talking about? Let's talk about the Arkansas Razorbacks. This team's lost 3 out of their last 4. But because it's in the SEC and because they're covering, which don't mean damn shit, uh, they're 15-point dogs and lost by 7. Let's bump them up a notch. Arkansas getting rewarded for losing, but covering. I'd rather see TCU than Arkansas in that thing, but we all know the big name coaches will be the big name coaches. Arkansas 4-9 in SEC play, somehow going to squeeze their way into this tournament. They got Texas, South Carolina, Vanderbilt, Mississippi State, and Missouri left on their schedule. So probably looking at 3-2, depending on if they can take care of business against Texas, South Carolina, and Vandy. I don't think they touch Mississippi State or Missouri. Both of those games on the road. No, both those games at home. So that's a good thing. You got Mississippi State, Missouri at home. But I mean, sheesh. I'd rather see TCU than Arkansas in the damn tournament. And the last team that's heating up, Gonzaga, the Bulldogs. Heard somebody the other day talking about some, I don't know why Gonzaga's getting so much love recently because I don't know anything about college basketball. That's what he should have said. Gonzaga lost to St. Mary's. Since then, not only are they 5-0, they are back to beating teams by 30, 20, 20. Last night, the 21-point win over Washington State on the road. 2 games ago, the 52-point win over Pepperdine. Yes, sir. Gonzaga is back, and they get a chance to get some revenge on St. Mary's this Saturday. St. Mary's coming to Spokane. Gonzaga heating up at the right time. Watch out for this team to be in the Sweet 16. I hate to call it. I hate to call stuff like that early. They are 8 seed right now. Got to take on a tough Utah State team. We all know about the Mountain West in the tournament. And after that, if they beat them, as of right now, here's Auburn. which I think Auburn's losing this game. I would love Creighton back over there. I think Creighton beats Auburn easier than Gonzaga does. Either way, Auburn, second round exit, my prediction. Speaking of the bracket, talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's get down to this final four. Let's start off in the South bracket, baby. Captain by a hook with the red beard. We're talking March Madness. We're counting it down. You got Auburn. Let's move them over from the one seed. Gonzaga, Utah State. I'll coin flip it. That's a close one. Gonzaga heads. Utah State tails. We got tails. Utah State upsetting Gonzaga 9/8 seed. Auburn, Utah State. Auburn are in the Sweet 16. You got Maryland as a 5 seed. Usually the 12-5 upset is the most popular upset. This year, these 5 seeds, pretty damn good basketball teams. Maryland as a 5 seed, I do like them to beat either Arkansas or Wake Forest right now. That's who they're lined up against. Move Maryland to the next round. St. John's as a 4 seed, I think they get both of them, Arkansas State and Maryland. So you got Auburn taking on St. John's. That's where Auburn loses, right? That is where Auburn loses. St. John's, baby. Tails for the underdog. Number 4 seed St. John's moves on to the Elite Eight. Let's go down. Old Mississippi as a 6 seed. Chris Beard and the gang. I think they beat UC San Diego. Wisconsin taking on Towson. Give me Wisconsin. Wisconsin. Old Miss. Wisconsin heads. Old Miss tails. Old Miss moves on to the Sweet 16. They will take on the winner of, drumroll please, St. Mary's, Texas. Give me St. Mary's to win that one. And then give me Iowa State, St. Mary's, in one of the most defensual, low scoring games. It's going to be like 48-45. Iowa State and St. Mary's. I'm going to go ahead and flip it, even though I like Iowa State. Yeah, Iowa State taking on Old Mississippi. Iowa State and Old Miss. Iowa State moves on to the Elite Eight, taking on St. John's. St. John's, Iowa State. That will be a damn good one. We are on the dogs, baby. St. John's. That first team into the Final Four. I ain't gonna lie to you. I am not mad at it. I ain't mad at it. If I didn't like Creighton so much, I think I'd have some money on St. John's to make the Final Four. I mean, they're only plus 750 right now. Not even really getting a lot of value on them making the Final Four. You know how much has to go right for them to make the Final Four? But I love it. That's the first pick. Let's go in the West. Let's go to the East. Let's move it around a little bit. Duke is the 1 seed in the East right now. Move them over against the 16 seed. And now they take on UConn or Ohio State. That's going to be a good ass game. That's a 71-69 type game. F it. We're going to flip the quota for them. Heads, UConn. Trash. Trash ass UConn. Dan Crybaby Hurley moves on to the second round. I'm just talking, people. If you watch the show the last 2 years, I've been doing this to Dan Hurley for a long time. But this year is just ridiculous. UConn, Duke, flip it. Duke beats them by 30, though. Oh! Duke moves on to the Sweet 16. You got Kansas as a 5 seed. I don't want to see Kansas in this tournament at all. Give me McNeese as the 12 seed, finally getting their little run. McNeese goes to the round of 32. Kansas goes home crying. And boy, will I be smiling. Michigan State, the 4 seed, they'll move on. They will beat McNeese. Michigan State will take on Duke in the Sweet 16. Michigan State wins 77-72. Cooper Flag has the ball. Minute 30 left. Michigan State's up 2. turnover, travel, fall, dumbass shit Cooper Flag does in the clutch. Michigan State goes down, waste some time, waste some time, waste some time. Pass. Oh! Bang, bang, boogie. Somehow an alley hoop. 76-72. Duke comes down again, jacks up a quick three, misses it, fouls. Michigan State makes one, misses one. Next thing you know, 77-72. Michigan State is in the Elite Eight. Don't forget, I told you first. I got the script, people. UCLA, 6 seed. They're taking on San Diego State or Oklahoma. Probably be San Diego State. Give me USLA, the mighty Bruins of UCLA, the 6 seed to advance. Arizona as a 3 seed. Give it to me. Give me UCLA beating Arizona. I don't think Arizona is built for the tournament, or maybe they are built exactly for the tournament. So let's just flip it here, because who am I? Heads. Arizona upsets UCLA. Who gives a hot ham? Arizona. This is a tough one down here. Bunch of trash ass teams. What I mean by that is a bunch of good teams that I don't want to bet on. Tennessee at the 2 seed. Let's move them over. Louisville, West Virginia. Give me Louisville. Louisville, Tennessee. I think Louisville has dog potential. We're going Louisville, the 7th seed, taking on Arizona, the 3 seed. I think I'm going to flip it again. Woo! Arizona getting lucky with the quarter. Arizona will take on Michigan State. Arizona, Michigan State, the 3 seed versus the 4 seed. We're going with the 4 seed. Michigan State getting to the final 4. That's my favorite bet too right now. Michigan State. I mean, I got Michigan State to win the Big Ten, Michigan State Final Four, Michigan State to win it all. I didn't gave that shit out since October, bro. I've been trying to tell you like I was snitching. Let's wrap this thing up, baby. Florida, the 1 seed. Move them. This is the West bracket. Oregon, New Mexico. Florida beats whoever. Florida's in the Sweet 16. Marquette, Drake. That's a tough one. Give me Marquette to win, but not cover. Marquette taking on Texas Tech. Texas Tech in the Sweet 16 against Florida. I'll have to flip that one. Number 4 versus number 1. We're going with number 1, Florida, in the Elite Eight. Clemson taking on Vanderbilt. I think Vanderbilt gets an upset there. Purdue, the 3 seed. I think Purdue gets upset by either Clemson or Vanderbilt. So we're gonna put Vanderbilt in the Sweet 16. F it. Memphis taking on BYU. Give me Memphis, a tough BYU team, mind you. Texas A&M, a 2 seed. No. Me do not agree with that. Memphis in the Sweet 16 taking on Clemson or Vanderbilt. Let's flip it. We're talking boom. Give me Memphis, man. Memphis taking on Florida. Man, is Florida going to be the 1 seed that makes it to the Final Four? Looking like it. Florida! Come on down. That Florida St. John's game would be disgusting in the Final Four. The last one, Midwest bracket. We got Alabama. Moved them over. Creighton, Baylor. Give me Creighton. Creighton beating Alabama as well. We got Creighton in the Sweet 16. Missouri taking on Yale. Give me Mizzou. I don't think any of these 5 seeds get upset, except for Kansas at the moment. Marquette's on upset alert, but I think Kansas loses. So give me Mizzou at this 5 seed. Michigan as the 4 seed. That's going to be a damn good one. Who takes on Creighton? Michigan or Missouri? We're going with the 5 seed. Missouri taking on Creighton. I think that's where the luck runs out. Yeah, Creighton, the 8 seed. They move on to the Elite Eight. Illinois as a 6 seed. George Mason taps that all on the floor. Give me George Mason, the 11th seed, getting the upset there. Kentucky, the 3 seed. I think George Mason Lux runs out against Kentucky. landed on heads. We're gonna go Kentucky to the Sweet 16 over George Mason, Mississippi State, Nebraska. I don't give a damn. Houston beats both of them. We got Kentucky and Houston. That's a tough one, bro. Especially, I dropped it. Give me Houston. Kentucky, they need to get healthy. If they don't get healthy, Houston for sure. Even if Kentucky's healthy, Houston might have the upper hand because of defense alone. Now we got Houston, Creighton. Damn it. I do want to flip the coin for this. Houston, Creighton. Last Final Four seed on the line. Number 2, Houston. Making it. This would be monumental. Houston, Michigan State, St. John's, Florida, as the Final Four right now. Next Thursday, we will do it again. I got nothing for you tonight. If you want to bet something, College of Charleston, money line. I've been looking since last night. Nothing I like. There was one other game that I thought about. I think it's San Francisco. Don't remember who they play. Like Pepperdine or some shit. Like Maryland 10.5, way too big for me to bet. Same thing with Ohio State at 10.5. Oregon State over Pepperdine minus 6.5. I like that. And then San Francisco plays somebody else. At least I thought San Francisco played tonight. Yeah, they play Pacific to be specific. I mean, if I had to bet anything, Oregon State minus 6.5, San Francisco minus 15.5. College of Charleston money line. But I ain't got Nathan for you. I ain't betting nothing tonight. Been on a hot streak. Oh, why force it? Why force it? I'll be back tomorrow though. We'll break down the weekend's games, Friday nights, big matchup, and more. Next week, we'll be touching on the madness as we count it down. I'm Rowan Donaghy, aka Rowan Dobbs, and this is Captain by a Hook with the red beard, presented by Stare Down Sports. Stare Down Greatness. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the love and the support. Please take every wager I give you at your own risk, and please gamble responsibly. See you guys, mañana.